Hey there, science enthusiasts! Have you ever wondered if there's more to our DNA than meets the eye? Well, buckle up because we're about to dive into a mind-blowing discovery that's shaking up the world of genetics. Scientists have found a brand new DNA structure inside human cells. And get this, it's not the famous double helix we all know and love. That's right, our genetic code just got a whole lot more interesting. Now, before we get into the nitty-gritty, let's take a quick trip down memory lane. Remember back in high school biology when we learned about DNA? That twisted ladder-like structure that carries all our genetic information? Well, for decades, scientists thought that was the whole story. But it turns out our cells have been hiding a secret. So what exactly did these researchers find? They discovered a DNA structure called the i-motif. It's a four-stranded knot of genetic material. Yeah, you heard that right, 4 strands. This isn't just some random jumble of DNA, though. The i-motif has a specific shape and purpose. Now you might be thinking, okay, cool, but why should I care? Well, this discovery could change everything we know about how our bodies work. See, DNA isn't just a static blueprint. It's constantly changing and adapting. And this new structure might play a big role in how our genes are expressed. Let's break it down a bit. The i-motif is formed when a strand of DNA doubles back on itself. It creates a knot-like structure that's pretty different from the usual double helix. Scientists have known about i-motifs for a while, but they'd only seen them in test tubes. This is the first time they've been spotted in actual living human cells. So how did they find these elusive structures? The researchers used a pretty clever trick. They created an antibody that specifically binds to i-motifs. Then they used fluorescent markers to make the antibodies glow. When they looked at the cells under a microscope, they saw tiny green spots lighting up. These spots showed exactly where the i-motifs were hanging out in the cell. Now here's where it gets really interesting. The scientists noticed that these i-motifs weren't permanent fixtures. They seemed to form, dissolve, and then form again. This happened at different points during the cell's life cycle. It's like they were turning on and off like little genetic light switches. What does this mean for us? Well, it could explain how our cells can produce over 200 different types of specialized cells, all from the same DNA blueprint. These i-motifs might be helping to control which genes get turned on or off. And that could influence everything from how our bodies develop to how diseases progress. Let's put this in perspective for a moment. Imagine you're reading a book, but instead of just reading from left to right, you could fold the pages to create new words and meanings. That's kind of what's happening with these i-motifs. They're adding a whole new dimension to how we read our genetic code. Now I know what you're thinking. This sounds great, but how does it affect me? Well, understanding these structures could lead to big advances in medicine. We might be able to develop new treatments for diseases like cancer, or find ways to slow down aging. The possibilities are pretty exciting. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. There's still a lot we don't know about these i-motifs. Scientists are working hard to figure out exactly what they do and how they work. It's like putting together a complicated puzzle, and we've only just found a few of the pieces. Here's another cool thing about this discovery. It shows us that there's still so much to learn about our bodies. Just when we think we've got it all figured out, nature throws us a curveball. It's a reminder of how complex and amazing life is. Now let's talk about what this means for the future of genetic research. This discovery opens up a whole new field of study. Scientists will be looking for other unusual DNA structures. They'll be trying to figure out how these structures affect our health. It's like we've found a hidden room in the house of genetics, and now we get to explore everything inside it. But it's not just about finding new structures. This discovery also changes how we think about DNA itself. We used to see it as a pretty stable molecule. Now we know it's way more dynamic than we thought. It's constantly changing shape and function within our cells. Think about it like this. It's as if we've been looking at a statue all this time, and suddenly we realize it can move and dance. That's how big of a shift this is in our understanding of DNA. So what's next? Well, scientists are going to be busy for a while. They'll be studying these i-motifs in different types of cells. They'll be looking at how they form and what makes them disappear. And they'll be trying to figure out if different i-motifs have different jobs in the cell. It's not just biologists who are excited about this. Chemists are pretty pumped too. They're interested in how these structures form and what holds them together. It's opening up new areas of study in the field of biochemistry. And let's not forget about the medical researchers. They're probably already thinking about how to use this knowledge. Could we design drugs that target these i-motifs? Could we use them to turn certain genes on or off? The potential for new treatments is huge. But here's the thing. Science is a slow process. It takes time to verify results and understand what they mean. So while this discovery is super exciting, it'll be a while before we see any practical applications. That doesn't mean we can't get excited, though. This is the kind of discovery that reminds us why science is so cool. It shows us that there's always more to learn, even about things we thought we understood pretty well. So what do you think about all this? Does it blow your mind like it does mine? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. And if you found this video interesting, give it a like and share it with your friends. Who knows, maybe you'll inspire the next great geneticist. Before we wrap up, let's take a moment to appreciate the scientists behind this discovery. It takes a lot of patience, creativity, and hard work to make breakthroughs like this. They're the unsung heroes pushing the boundaries of human knowledge. So, the next time you hear someone say, "It's not rocket science," you can say, "You're right, it's genetics, and it's way cooler." Thanks for joining me on this journey into the twisted world of DNA. Until next time, keep questioning, keep learning, and keep being awesome.